Ever feel like you're just swimming in data, but you can't find a single drop of real insight to drink? Yeah, it's a huge problem for so many businesses. Well, today we're going to throw you a lifeline. It's called the data warehouse. Let's break down how this incredible tool can take all that chaos and turn it into a real strategic advantage. Okay, so let's get real for a second. Picture this, right? You've got your sales data over here in Salesforce, your customer info, that's in a completely different CRM, and your inventory, well, let's be honest, it's probably in some massive spreadsheet. It's like they're all speaking different languages. So how in the world do you get them to talk to each other, to actually have a conversation that tells you what your next hit product is going to be? That is the million-dollar question, and we are going to tackle it right now. So you have to think about these two things in totally different ways. Let's use an analogy. Think of your business like a car. The operational databases, that's the engine. It's the nuts and bolts, the stuff that makes the car actually run day to day in real time. But the data warehouse, that's your GPS and your entire dashboard. It's not about making the car go. It's about giving you that big picture view, showing you where you've been, how fast you're going, and helping you plot the best course to get where you want to go. All right, so you might be asking, why do I even need a whole separate system for this? And that's a great question. It really boils down to a problem I bet we've all felt. Just information overload. We are absolutely drowning in data, but we're starving for actual wisdom. And that challenge, that exact feeling, is what kicked off the whole data warehouse revolution. You see, for most companies, data isn't sitting in some nice, neat, organized library where you can just go and check out a book. No way. It's more like it's scattered across a bunch of different disconnected islands, and each island has its own language, its own rules, its own culture. And trying to get all those islands to work together, yeah, it's like trying to build a bridge in the middle of a hurricane. It's just not going to happen. So, why is this such a huge problem? What's the big deal? Well, let's break it down. First off, you've got this Tower of Babel issue, right? The data is totally inconsistent. In one system, you've got cust_ID, and in another, it's customer number. Good luck matching those up. Then there's what I like to call data amnesia. These day-to-day systems, they're designed to forget the past, to stay fast. But the real kicker, the absolute worst part, trying to run a huge, complex analysis on your live operational system, it's literally like trying to change the tire on a car that's speeding down the highway. It slows everything down, and it is a recipe for disaster. Okay, so how do we fix this? How do we tame this absolute beast of a data problem? Simple. We build it a home. A single, central, really organized, and super powerful home for all your data. And that home is called a data warehouse. Okay, I know what you're thinking. That definition looks a little intimidating. It looks like a real mouthful of jargon. But trust me, don't let those fancy words fool you. These four terms are basically the secret ingredients. They're the superpowers that make a data warehouse such a game changer. So let's go ahead and unpack them one by one. All right, superpower number one, subject-oriented. Here's what that means. Your normal everyday systems, they're all about doing things, processing a sale, updating an inventory count. They're action-based. A data warehouse is totally different. It's all about understanding things. It organizes everything around your key subjects, your customers, your products, your sales regions. It gives you that full 360-degree view of what's actually important. Next up, we've got integrated. And honestly, this is where a lot of the magic happens. A data warehouse isn't just a big bucket where you dump all your data. No, it's more like a data refinery. It takes in all that messy, inconsistent data from all those different islands we talked about, and it cleans it, it standardizes it, it makes everything speak the same consistent language. It's basically the universal translator for all your business data. Superpower number three is time variant. This is a huge one. Think of it like this. Your operational system is like taking a snapshot, a picture of what's happening right now. But a data warehouse? That's like a time-lapse video. It doesn't just show you today. It shows you the entire story, the whole history, the evolution of your business over months, years, even decades. And that's how you spot the really important long-term trends that are going to shape your future. And finally, our fourth superpower, non-volatile. It's a weird word, but the concept is simple. It just means that the data in the warehouse is stable. It's like a historical archive. Once data goes into the warehouse, it doesn't get changed or deleted. It's there to stay. This creates incredibly stable, trustworthy foundation for all your analysis. It becomes that single source of truth that everyone in the company can rely on. Okay, so let's recap. We've taken our data chaos, and we've built this beautiful, clean, organized library. It's amazing. But how do you actually find the book you're looking for? How do we navigate this thing to find those golden nuggets of insight? The answer lies in a really cool, powerful concept called the data cube. To understand the data cube, let's start with something we all know and love, or maybe just know. A spreadsheet, right? It's a simple, flat 2D world. You've got rows and columns. Maybe you have time going across the top and your products going down the side. It's a decent start, for sure. But it's kind of like looking at the world with one eye closed. You're missing some depth. Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting. We take that flat 2D spreadsheet and we add a third dimension. Let's say location. And bam, suddenly our flat table pops into a 3-dimensional cube. Now we're not just looking at data anymore, we're exploring it. We can spin this cube around, compare sales in Chicago versus New York. We can see our business from a completely new perspective. But hey, why stop at 3 dimensions, right? What if we add a 4th dimension, like supplier, or a 5th, like sales channel? We can keep going. We can create this whole universe of interconnected data cubes. That is the incredible power of a multi-dimensional model. It's like having a business Rubik's Cube that you can twist and turn in any way you want to find new patterns and reveal all these hidden insights. All right, we've got this awesome data cube. It's packed with potential. So how do we actually play with it? How do we get in there and unlock all the secrets that it's holding? Well, this is where the real fun starts. It is time to get out our tools and start slicing and dicing. I want you to think of yourself as a data detective. The data cube is your crime scene, full of clues. But you need your detective kit, right? You need the tools to investigate. Well, these operations, they're your magnifying glass, your fingerprint kit, your whole forensics lab. The technical term is OLAP operations, but all you need to know is they are about to make you a data superstar. First up, we have drill down. This is basically your zoom lens. So you start way up high with the 30,000-foot view, maybe looking at total sales for the entire year. Then you drill down to see the quarters. Then you zoom in again to see the months, and then the weeks, all the way down to a single day if you want. It's how you go from seeing what happened to understanding why it happened. And then you've got the opposite, roll up. If drilling down is your zoom lens, rolling up is like hopping in a hot air balloon. You start on the ground, maybe looking at sales from individual stores, then you roll that up to see the city totals, then the state totals, then the country totals. You're zooming out to see that big, beautiful picture and spot those major overarching trends. Then we have my personal favorite, slice. Imagine your data cube is a big loaf of bread. Slicing is when you cut out one perfect slice of that loaf to examine it closely. So, for example, you could take a slice that's just the data for the first quarter, or just the data for your top-selling product. It's all about isolating one specific thing so you can really focus in and see how it's performing. Okay, so we've been on quite a journey, haven't we? We've gone from total data chaos to this beautiful, organized, crystal clear data cube. But so what? What's the point of all this work? What's the ultimate payoff? Well, now we get to the most important part of all, turning all of this amazing data into actual smart decisions. You know, using a data warehouse really is a journey. It's an evolution. At first, you're just learning to walk. You're generating standard reports, answering the basic questions. Then you learn to run. You start doing more complex analysis with charts and graphs. But then you learn to fly. You're slicing and dicing that data cube, and eventually you're using powerful tools to discover patterns you never even knew existed and actually predict the future. It's this incredible journey from hindsight to insight to foresight. And that final phase, that flying phase, that's where we enter the fascinating world of data mining. This is where you really unleash the power of computers. They become these super smart data detectives, automatically searching through mountains of data to find hidden patterns and connections that no human could ever spot. So you see, a data warehouse isn't just a fancy storage unit, it's a launch pad for what is basically a crystal ball for your business. So let's bring it all home. Here's the bottom line. A data warehouse is not just a rearview mirror for looking at what's already happened, it's a powerful telescope for looking into the future. It lets you organize the past and analyze the present so you can make much, much smarter decisions about what's coming. The real question stops being, what happened? And it becomes, what will you predict about the future?